I think we can best understand what's going on in the world today as a crisis, a geopolitical crisis of the sole superpower, the United States. It declared itself the sole superpower after the disintegration of the Soviet Union in 1991, as you all know. But rather soon thereafter, by the beginning of the administration of George W. Bush as president and Dick Cheney as vice president, the American power establishment, whatever name you want to give it, realized that they were coming into a deep crisis. The looting of Russia, the looting of Eastern Europe, the shock therapy, the IMF privatizations had reached a relative limit. And the looting of the Chinese economy through dirt cheap labor was also beginning to reach a limit a few years later by 2006, 2007. In my view, the rising of the average wage levels in China from the lowest levels 10, 15 years ago, by 2006, 2007 began to spell the crisis of the dollar system, which was manifested in the real estate crisis in the United States and spread very soon worldwide. In September 11th, 2001, or September 12th, President Bush declared a war on terror. He even used the expression a new crusade, a holy crusade. Well, he quickly was told to correct his language because it would give the game away. But what in effect happened is, after 9/11, a war on Islam replaced the war against godless communism in the minds of most Americans. They had little understanding of the difference between Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden in Tora Bora in Afghanistan. And they were soon willing to send their sons and daughters to die for the war on terror in Iraq and in Afghanistan. Those campaigns, however, over time proved to be a catastrophe for the United States, certainly for Afghanistan and Iraq. And to my mind, those were symptoms of the failure of neoliberalism, the failure of the free market model, a model that can only exist by cannibalism. The last phase of that model was auto-cannibalism of the American economy through creation of a financial bubble in home ownership of average Americans. The decision was made gradually. It began a debate in 2003 with the invasion of Iraq to turn on the one part of the world that had largely remained separate from the control of New York and London banks and their predator corporations, namely the Arab world.